I will say this too, since we're on the topic of social media too, Mom. I feel like, okay, growing up,
Yes.
especially like me and Crystal, we're the only girls clearly in the house.
Hmm.
Um, do you think that do you think that the way that people are with social media now is because maybe our parents did not instill in us who we are, that confidence, that just certain things. I feel like because it was more so growing up, it was more so do as I say, but not showing me how to do it and how to retain that. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Like I feel like okay, women right now, like
Hmm.
I would say, like not all women, but some women, especially
Hmm.
not, I would say the younger generation, like the
Okay.
Gen Zs.
Hmm.
Everything that they're posting is honestly so that they can show other people. They want to look good in front of other people. And sometimes I ask myself, like, is it because maybe somebody at home is not showing them, like, not necessarily who they are, but helping them believe who they are and who they are. I don't know, like, if
I
that makes
think
sense.
I think people are looking for social validation. That's what I call it. Social
Yes,
validation.
understand, but like I'm
You
saying,
know,
like how we have a mother, but our mom is over here telling us, "Oh, you need to be doing this," and I'm like, "Okay, well, show me how to do that. How do you, Mom? Have you taught me about confidence? Have you taught me about this? Have you taught me about that?
hmm.
How to like kind of act like a lady or do certain things. I don't know, in order for me to not receive validation from social media, because there's a lot of women that they have present mothers, but they didn't have that person to pour into them to make them feel like they don't need this.
I think sometimes it's lack of communication again, I'll say, between the daughters and the mothers. And a lot of times
It's a hard
parents,
relationship too.
yes, and a lot of times uh we may say things to you guys. We say just I mean, how am I gonna put it? I think some parents, some mothers try to tell their kids the right thing they think is right. And then when the kids are out there, they're doing something else they think is right. Based on what they've heard, social media said this person said that, my mom said this, oh, my mom was wrong. I'm supposed to do it like this, but it's supposed to be done this way because my friend did it this way. So a lot of times we borrowed so many, we go through so many barrels. Cultural differences falling in place. You guys are looking at your friends that tell you this or tell you that, and then you kind of slip off from what your parents told you or what your mother tell you. Because to me, I believe when I was growing up, and I think my mom and I think my mom said a whole bunch of stuff, told me a bunch of stuff, and it was even, I would think you guys have more time with your mothers. I didn't have much time with my mom because each time you live in a dormitory, you come back for holidays, you go back to school again,
Mm,
so it's like that.
okay.
You don't really spend much time with your mom. We don't really talk too much with our mothers. But they tell us, they give us the rules and regulations and what, go
And
off with
follow
it.
it.
And that's all they do. That's all they do for us. And then at the end of the day, some of us that came to America, just you finish high school, then they ship you to America.
Okay.
And then right now, I have more time with my daughter than my mom had with me.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
And, we shared a whole lot because I didn't stay too long with my mom. I mean, to my I think 18, and then you've been over here, sent
It's
to
true.
overseas. So it's like the time I spent with mom was like during the holidays.
Hmm.
I spent time with mom. Then after holidays, you back to school. Then you come back holidays. Then you back to school again.
Mm.
And then after holidays, think about it. After school, you're shipped to America. So, I mean, I spent time, and yet anything that I learned from my mom said, I still took it to my heart coming to America. I still had to think about what are my mom's values? What values did she share with me?
Mm.
By the way she did things, by what she told me, and all that. And as young as I was at that time, it was still clicked in my head that mom don't like this. These are not the values that I was raised with. And I have to do it this way.
Mm.
And of course, we didn't have any social media. Maybe that's why things were different at that time. That's why we stated on what our parents taught us, and what my mother, especially, who was very, very close to me, believed in. and studied, and just so. I, so we thank God that we didn't have social media in our time, and I guess that's why everything parents stated or mom told you was your value. You were raised up with a value, and we stay with it.
So, okay, that was very interesting that you shared that about, because I didn't realize that you really didn't spend a lot of time
No, I didn't. No.
with grandma, because I mean, you were in and out of the dorms. You also left as a teenager.
Yes.
So it's just kind of like, and you just had to kind of do figure things out on your own.
I had to figure, yes. And then the little things, and I thank God that I still have that values my mom taught me as a very young girl. And it clicked in my head because each time I was over here, I would always tell myself, what will mom say?
Hmm.
When I met your dad was like, what about your dad? I say,
Of course, Daddy's gonna
what
say
will
that.
my mom say? It's always in my head.
Hmm.
How will she feel? Will I make her proud?
Hmm.
And that's what kept me going till I got married. Just it kept me going because it's I have to sleep on that every time. I was thinking, what will mom say? Will I make her proud? So think about it. And so you guys are spending more time with us, and I can't see the reason why you all won't put that values and grow with it and have the confidence as a young lady that you guys are awesome young ladies.
Well, Mom, because a lot of times, especially growing up, it sound more like it sound more like rules
Okay.
versus us feeling, like, okay, mom's looking out for our best interest. It sound like, it sound like an ultimatum. If we don't do this, this is gonna happen, type thing. So we're not receiving it like that. But